creeper. Look, you spider. Hi, creeper. I thought I could do it. That was a dumb idea. I hope nothing attacks me, or otherwise I'm dead. Let's just sit here for a second in the middle of this pool and slowly drown ourselves. No, but yeah. So we'll probably bring it back at some point when the next either Avengers or something comes out. The next kind of big film comes out. We'll do a skit for it, and that'll be that. I definitely want to, start doing reviews at some point on my channel, bringing those back a little bit. I'm sure for 50 Shades of Grey, I'll do a Danz reviews on it, and it'll be something that'll be fun to do. I've been tossing around the idea, and I've actually gone as far as making an intro and everything for it, or buying a pre-made intro and customizing it for a movie news show called Movie News with a Z, that I would be doing maybe weekly. But the thing is, it's been finding the time. Obviously, I haven't done a whole lot in the last month on my channel, and I've been trying to rectify that and fix it. Other words that are in a thesaurus that are similar to fix. Yeah. So hopefully I'll get to do that at some point, because that's something I think I'd really enjoy doing. It's just literally, what day does it go up? When I figured Saturday before, so I would compile the news throughout the week, and then on Saturday do a big, because usually movie news is pretty slow on, I should probably make a chest. Usually movie news is pretty slow on the weekends. It's usually not much because, it's day off, I guess, at the movie news websites. So Saturday would be good. All of the big news of the week, compile it into the end of the video or into the video, and then film it on Saturday morning, edit it, and then get it up. But that would be something that would take a little bit to work on. And I have, I work on Saturdays. I work for the Hub, whether it's Creature Talk or whatever. So it's kind of tough finding out when would be the best to do it. And I wouldn't want to film it on one day, edit it, and have it go up the next day, because then something big could come out that day. I don't know. It's tough trying to figure out when, where, why, and how with, a lot of this stuff. Should I even put my dirt away? What can I put away? Zombie meat. Let's get rid of all this garbage that I have on me. Don't need those yet. Don't need that flint. I can make flint. No, I don't have any iron. I was supposed to say I could make flint and steel, but keep whatever wood I have on me. Let's do that. Boop, 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 boop. Store some of the many torches I've made. Store that stuff. I can make a bed. Let me keep that and make a bed real quick. Probably keep the apples on me. Stick that there. I don't need the bow for now. Boop. I know it's really unorganized right now, but I will reorganize at a later date. So all that stuff's good. How do you make a bed in Minecraft? Don't make fun of me. Stop it. Stop it. I know. I play this all the time. Again, exactly as you would think. I need one more wool. I need one more wool. Good thing there's a shit ton of sheep around here. But, yeah. So, movie nights. That's where I landed, right? I need your meat. I should probably be capturing you, but I need your meat. What are you doing up there, tree cow? Tree cow, get down here. You stay up there, I guess. Keep being an asshole, tree cow. There's so much land around here. This will be perfect. Oh, I'm getting super low framing. There we go. Oh, my goodness. Look at all these sheep. I'm going to have a sheep farm. Sheep farm, maybe a cow farm. Or cow pen, sheep pen, cow pen. It's going to be good. There seems to be a plentiful amount around here. So, yeah. Anyway. Things and stuff. So, one day I'll get to that movie news thing. That's what I was talking about. One day I will get to the movie news show. And that will be very nice. So, Thank you, Jonah Stewart, for your question at DAM. Nope. I already fucked it up, so I'm not going to repeat it. I said it earlier. Anyway, next question is from at Josh. Favorite trilogy. Now, I've talked about this at great length in the past. The Lord of the Rings trilogy is when I say that, I mean Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, Return of the King, not the Hobbit trilogy. Not that was bad, but the Lord of the Rings trilogy is the Star Wars of my generation. It is, the phenomenon trilogy that really inspired me a lot to, become a filmmaker. There's plenty of movies growing up that I watched that were like, man, I want to make that movie. I want to make a movie like that. I want to make a cool movie. I want to make a fun movie. I want to make an action movie. I want to make a sad movie. I want to, I don't have any specific genre that I think I wouldn't do. I remember I was such a just like really cynical child growing up a little bit when it came to movies. Like I think I was a little cynical because there was a point where I was just, I was so like anti-Disney. Not even like, not that I didn't like Disney movies and stuff like that. It was just literally, I didn't like the quantity over quality thing they seemed to be going for with making like Cinderella 2. And, how do you make a sequel to like a 30-year-old movie that like is a classic? It's considered a classic. Wow, how can you do that? Now, I haven't seen Cinderella 2, but like I was just so peeved by the idea at the time. And I think I was just it was just a little precocious, very just cynical child, a little bit. I remember I worked, I was a writer for school paper for a couple years, and I loved journalism, if I can actually speak. See, that's what written word is so much better than spoken word, because I can actually do one of those things. But I love journalism, Jesus. And I loved writing, and I wrote a article called, what was it? It was essentially, an article about the death of original films, and there being no, like, most of the movies coming out. I already had a shovel. Whoops. I chronicled all the movies coming out that were either sequels or remakes or movies based on a book. Not that that's a bad thing. Movies based on books are fine. I don't know why I had such a stick up my ass, but it was just like, I was just talking about how there's such a lack of originality. But then again, like, every story's been told at this point. I mean, not necessarily, but it's one of those things where there's so many different stories out there. There's so many different ideas out there that could be explored but aren't being explored, and yet we're getting the same thing over and over again. Just me being a little cynical kid who didn't necessarily understand everything, but still wrote about it like as if I did know everything. And yeah, that was my amazing commentary on the world at the time. So, I wrote stuff like that was kind of cynical, or just, very old man-y, like, hey, back in my day, even though I'm only, 13, 14 years old. But yeah, I don't know. That was fun time. Anyway, boop, boop. Excuse me. I'm trying to do shit here. I got my wool, did I not? So I should make a bed real quick. Anyway, but yeah, Lord of the Rings. Favorite trilogy, definitely. I'm sure I just went off on several tangents there and never actually landed back to what I was really talking about. But that's the way the cookie crumbles in this series. It's tough when I'm actually doing things in the game and trying to like get something correct, and then I just blank and don't focus on things. Anyway, just kidding. That was a joke. Ha get some. I don't know why I said that or what that even means. I've heard a kid say it once on the street. His name was Charlie. Anyway, so yeah, favorite trilogy definitely is something that was very inspiring to me. Yeah, I was talking about the different kinds of movies. Anyway, I remember what I was talking about now. Cinderella 2. But yeah, so, you know, I think that Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy was definitely very inspiring to me. I think I'm going to put my door right here-ish. Is that even? This looks even to me. I believe that is even. Whoop. Oh, yeah, darn sure is. It darn sure is. Even. So that will be the doorway. I don't. There's sand down there. I should probably get some sand. I should probably. Kind of doing the layout I usually do in a lot of my houses in Minecraft. Or at least trying to. Or maybe I should do it. Let's make it kind of modern. Wouldn't that be fun? Kind of modern. I need sand, though, to do this, so I need some glass. But anyway. That is my favorite trilogy. Thank you, Josh, for the question. Next one is, what Batman... this is from Horror Gamer 101 on Twitter. What Batman movie should I watch as my very first one? Oh, man. You've never seen a Batman movie. Huh. That's a tough... I mean, I would start with Batman Begins if you're going to watch a movie. If you're looking for serious Batman, this is a tough question to answer because I don't want... Oh, Jordan's freaking out. I don't know what's happening. If you're looking for light, fun, comic booky, Adam Westy kind of Batman, slash, well, I don't know. Maybe Tim Burton's Batman films were kind of, you know, they were dark. The first one, definitely. Well, I mean, both of them were pretty dark. And then when you get to Joel Schumacher, it was like, you know, Adam West Batman. Okay, so here you go. 1989, Michael Keaton, Batman. Directed by Tim Burton. Dark kind of origin-y in a sense. Batman. It's Batman when he's already started, so it isn't really origin-y, but they do cover his origins a little bit. Well, they do. No, they do cover his origin. Never mind. As the Joker, Jack Nicholson plays him. It's a good movie. It's a little dated. It's definitely very 80s. Even though it was at the tail end of the 80s. Prince did the music for the movie. It's a little ridiculous, but it's not a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination. I like Michael Keaton as Batman. He was an interesting pick. I don't think many people were very supportive at the time of the pick. It's like Mr. Mom's Batman. But definitely a good movie. So, I mean, it's a serious Batman, but at the same time is still a little wacky, and definitely very 80s. Then you have Batman Returns, which is Tim Burton's second movie that continues on. Anyway, the next kind of reboot of it after Tim Burton was Batman Forever, which had Val Kilmer as Batman. Now, this is also a different jumping on point that you could do. It's a pseudo reboot of the Burton series. And it's that's an interesting movie. It has Jim Carrey as the Riddler and Tommy Lee Jones. This is the second time Tommy Lee Jones has come up today. Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. So if that sounds like it strikes your fancy, which it sure should, check that out. I think not Val Kilmer. It's probably one of the reasons why that movie is probably one of the reasons why I don't like Nicole Kidman too much. I mean, she isn't that great in that. And I mean, everybody in that movie is just over the top and not that great. But that's probably, I haven't really seen her in much that's really kind of made me go, huh, she's a great actor. I don't know why. I don't know why I don't like Nicole Kidman, maybe that movie. Anyway, I'm trying to make these so they don't have the edges as they do now. Fuck off. He actually stopped after I hit him the first time. I probably shouldn't have kept attacking. He seems like a pacifist. Anyway, that's also a potential jumping on point. It's very campy. It's very Adam West Batman in visual style a little bit. Very 90s. And Batman and Robin Never Watch Burn, a copy if you own it. And then you get to Christopher Nolan's Batman films. Thank you, mister, for showing up. Fuck off. Christopher Nolan's Batman films are a very serious take. But still, I mean, it's not like, it's not, depressing serious. It's just serious. It takes the material very seriously and, isn't campy like the other entries in the series. So, and it's definitely, a very iconic. He did his own thing with it and kind of blew it out of the water for me and millions of other fans of Batman. So, millions upon millions. So, yeah, if you're looking to start where it all began, Tim Burton Batman, 1989. If you're looking for a very light, fun, kid-friendly, not necessarily kid-friendly, there's some, adult stuff in there, but, shit, just go away. I want to sleep so I can wake up in the morning. And then after that, Chris Nolan's, you guys having a pool party? What the fuck? There's 4 of you in here. You got Chris Nolan's Batman. What I would say, if you're looking to start with the serious take on Batman nowadays, start with Chris Nolan's Batman, and then go back and watch the other ones after that, because they're just, if you're a fan of Batman, definitely check them out. Although if you're a fan of Batman, I just can't believe that you wouldn't have seen the other Batman movies. So maybe you're not that big of a fan of Batman. So check out the Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins. Yay, going to sleep now. So thank you, Horror Gamer 101, for that question. Next question kind of pertains to what we were just talking about. Have you seen Birdman? Did you like it? I have not seen Birdman yet. I just picked it up on Blu-ray yesterday, so I will be checking it out very soon. So just wanted to, I saw that and I was like, I should probably answer that. Because I've been very curious to see Birdman. I've only heard good things, so... well, I've heard good things, but kind of mixed things as well. Like, it has a weird ending and stuff like that or something like that. But, no, I hope it's good. I really like Michael Keaton, who played Batman, and also Birdman. But I've heard good things and I hope it's good. I like, all the actors in there and, it's had a lot of buzz around it. I'm going for a modern thing with my house, so there's like no corners outside of the door frame. I don't know how glass could support this, but hey, this is my fantasy world, and I'll do what I darn sure please. Should probably eat something though. So no, I have not checked out Birdman yet, but I figured that question might come up a little bit. So I wanted to answer that. Nico. Every single time I go to Twitter to go to the next thing, you get to see Nico. Hey, I'm Nico Bellic. The things. Next question from Jay Hayden. Probably not worth talking about on the series, but wondering if you saw Grand Budapest Hotel, and if so, your thoughts. I have seen half of the Grand Budapest Hotel. Liz and I were flipping through the channels, and we ended up landing on that because I've heard good things about it, and I've wanted to watch it, and so we watched a fair bit of it. And it was kind of one of those things where we clicked on it and we were probably only going to watch it for a couple minutes, but then ended up watching half of it. And then I think either it was just like I was super tired or something. We ended up going lay down. So we didn't finish it. And it's been sitting on my DVR ever since. So I think we did start watching it again at one other point, but didn't get back to it. So what I've seen so far was pretty good. I like Wes Anderson. I think he's a very interesting director, very creative. And I've been hit or miss with some of his other movies, but I think overall I dig his style, and I respect any filmmaker that you could watch only a couple minutes of it and know who that filmmaker is. You just put your stamp on it so much that anybody can tell who directed the movie. I always think that's really cool when you could do that. So yeah, I have not seen it all the way through, so I can't really give my full opinion on it. Next one is thoughts on The Social Network. Literally my favorite movie of all time, from @Sound the Stereo, Lindsay Europe. So The Social Network, your favorite movie of all time? That's interesting. I wouldn't say it's my favorite movie of all time. It's not a bad movie. I like it. But not my favorite movie of all time. I like Fincher. Fincher's an interesting director as well. He's another filmmaker. You could watch the movie and be like, is this Fincher? I'm pretty sure this is Fincher. I've seen a lot of his movies. I haven't seen all of them. I have never seen Seven, by the way. Seven is one of his movies that I've wanted to watch for quite a long time, but have not. I'm dead now. A little burp there. I have not had the chance to see. I have it. I own it. I just haven't checked it out yet. So I will rectify that at some point. Do I even need a roof on this? I mean, I don't need a roof. I mean, spiders can't get in here. Am I right? Spiders can. Damn it. So I've seen a lot of his movies, and I like a lot of his movies. Gone Girl was really good. I quite enjoyed that. That was a very what the fuck movie while I was watching it. But Social Network, it was a good movie. I really like his movies. Like, they feel like they're an event. Like there's always seems to be some hype around his movies where it's like, you know, you have to see this movie. And The Social Network was very much, at the time when it came out, it was like all a buzz about, you know, Mark Zucker and all that stuff surrounding the movie and the legality of it. And there's just so much hype and news around the movie. And I think that was his first movie he filmed on digital, I believe. He shot it with Red cameras. I think just as a filmmaker, he's been one to very much push the envelope when it's come to digital filmmaking. He's worked closely with the guys who make the Red cameras that they film, you know, a bunch of movies on. And he's pushed the envelope. He filmed Gone Girl in 6K resolution, and like theaters can't even project 6K resolution. They project 4K. So he filmed in 6K, but down res to 4K. Or didn't even necessarily down res. He used, I was watching an interview with his director of photography, and he was talking about how they filmed in 6K, but then scaled it to 4K, scaled the shots to 4K, and used the extra space for stabilization, because he apparently is like a nut for stabilizing shots. So I thought that was really interesting. I love stuff like that. That's always fascinating to me. But anyway, I think he's a very progressive filmmaker, and I think The Social Network was a good movie. It showed me that Justin Timberlake isn't just, you know, a good singer and songwriter. He's actually a good actor. He was good in that movie. It wasn't the first movie with Andrew Garfield that I saw in it, but it was definitely one of the first. One of the first, not necessarily the first, but Andrew Garfield was great in it. Joe Mazzello, the kid from Jurassic Park. If you've seen the first Jurassic Park, he's the kid who was climbing the fence and got zapped. The little kid from Jurassic Park, he was actually in it. He was one of the people who was working on the website once they started kind of rolling and bringing on staff for Facebook. He was in it. I've kind of followed his career a little bit as time has gone on. I'm actually friends with him on Facebook, but I think it's not like, you know, I know him and I'm friends with him on Facebook. It's like a long time ago I looked it up and he was on there, and I was like, oh, hey, that's really cool. I want to send him a friend request. It's not really a fan page, but I think he kind of runs it like a fan page. I don't know. Anyway, so I followed his career a little bit. I've always been interested whenever he's been in something to check it out. So I think overall it's a pretty good movie. Again, that's kind of on the little bit of the forgettable scale for me. I saw it and I thought it was really good. But it didn't, shatter the earth below me, outside of the fact that I think it was it's a landmark film for digital filmmaking when it comes to, it being kind of the main thing. Hi, I'm Dan. I just don't know where I was going with that thought, but it was going somewhere, and I was not along for the ride. So that is that. Thank you, Lindsay, for the question. I will do probably one or two more, and then wrap this session up. Well, I'm trying probably going to shoot for this session to like these episodes to maybe be half an hour or so long, because I want to do kind of the episodes in one sitting as opposed to doing one sitting and splitting it out in multiple parts. I want the parts to be the individual sittings. But in this case, for the first episode, I had a lot to talk about, so it was more than one part. So sorry if it was kind of boring. That's why I wanted to be very chill, me talk about stuff series. This is from the at Two Bandanas. Are you into the horror genre? If so, what are you expecting this year? Before I started dating Liz, I wouldn't have said I was in any way any sort of horror aficionado. I think at this point I've seen a lot more horror movies. It's Liz's favorite genre is horror movies, and I have seen many horror movies being with her. And I've enjoyed watching a lot of them. Like, there's been a lot of great movies that I've seen. Obviously, there's a lot of like the big Hallmark horror movies that are generally like just great films in general and regarded as like must sees, like something like The Exorcist and films like that. And I hadn't even seen The Exorcist. Neither did she all the way through until recently. And after we watched it, we were both like, that's why it's considered one of the best horror movies, or one of the best movies, period. That's a great movie. Anyway, horror genre. Before I had met Liz, it was more so, it's something like the Halloween series. I was really into John Carpenter's Halloween films. The first few of them. I think the newer revivals have been kind of like the Rob Zombie one and. The like Halloween Resurrection and stuff like that, just the crappy movies haven't been the best. But let's go with the cooked steak I got here. Nom, nom, nom. But I was more so into kind of like the slasher movies. I really, and I still do, really love the Scream series, Wes Craven's Scream series. That is just a great. Those are great satires / actually good horror movies, in my opinion. Like, they're great. I love a mystery. Like, I like the idea that we're gonna have Ghostface taunt Sydney for an hour and a half, and then comes down to the reveal, like, who did it, what's the motivation. How interesting is the movie going to be up to that point? Like, I think all of the Scream movies, except for, I think the third was a little shaky, in my opinion. But all the Scream movies are really just great films. They're entertaining. They make me laugh. They make me jump. I mean, the Scream movies now, I've seen them so many times. They like, the jump scare stuff doesn't really scare me. But there's stuff that when I saw it growing up just terrified the crap out of me. Like, really, really scared the crap out of me. And that's stuff that stays with you, and that makes me come back and watch them. Like, I just really like those movies. I probably should move that chest inside now. Or just leave it outside for now and then move it in eventually, just because it has random crap in it right now. So I'll just stick more crap in it and create more of a problem. I probably shouldn't do that. Let's just break the chest. Oh, fuck. I just want the other chest. There we go. All right. But, yeah, the Scream films, I absolutely love the Scream films. Super into those movies. And, yeah, that's a thing. But, before I met Liz, James, I think, had brought up, or no, it was on Netflix. The first Insidious movie was on Netflix, and we watched it because we were kind of on horror movie kicks in the first Creature House. Creature House, the first Creature House, where we would watch a lot of kind of B horror movies, just like terrible horror movies. But we did, we watched like Woman in Black. Not that it was a terrible one. We watched cheapo, like Walmart 20-pack horror movie things, as well as actually legitimately good movies that were either on Netflix or we rented or bought. So we watched Woman in Black one of the times. I thought that was a decent enough movie. Thought it was all right. We watched Insidious, which was another one that I loved. Insidious. That is a great movie. I really, really like James Wan's direction, and kind of just James Wan and Lee. I think it's Lee Winnell. They are just a great team. They did the first Saw movie, and it's those guys are just unparalleled, I think, just currently when it comes to making interesting. I'm not saying like it's, I just really like their films. I feel like they're kind of the more popcorny side of the horror genre, and something like Annabelle isn't groundbreaking, but at the same time, I'm going off on The Conjuring, by the way. The Conjuring was what James Wan and Lee Winnell worked. Winnell. I don't know how to pronounce his name. They worked on after Insidious, and I really like that film as well. But something like Annabelle is like a mixture between The Conjuring and Insidious, and I think it was kind of retreaded a little bit on some of the same ground, but is kind of still in that Conjuring universe. Anyway, just really inventive movies. I really dug those. The Insidious 1 and 2, and I liked how they connected, and it didn't feel thrown together so much. I felt like they were just creative and really were really entertaining. And so horror movies. I mean, and after having met Liz, I've watched some really like hardcore horror movies. I've seen some fucked up shit. I've seen stuff like a Serbian film, which is, if you've seen it, that movie is crazy. That movie is crazy. I bought it. I actually own it. No, I might have traded it in, or did I keep it? I can't remember. But she was talking about it, and I was like, okay, I'll buy it. I'll just buy it. And she was like, well, I didn't ask you to buy it, oh no, I'll buy it. So I bought it, and we watched it, and that movie is, I don't even know if outrageous begins to really describe it. That movie is just crazy. That movie is just pure insanity. Can I get rid of more of this shit? I'm just kind of like floating around trying to talk and do stuff at the same time. Yeah, that movie's just nuts. Something like Necromancia. That's a movie we watched together. ABCs of Death. Those ABCs of Death 1 and 2. 2 is a lot better than the first in my opinion, but ABCs of Death is something we watched on Netflix and really fell in love with, and that's actually produced by Draft House Films of like the Alamo Draft House that we go to. So we actually got to go see that early before it came out, and that was ABCs of Death 2. I mean, and creepy sound. ABCs of Death 2 is quite great, and I really like that movie. But yeah, I've seen a lot of things. Seen a lot of horror films. And what am I expecting out of this year is the second part of that question. I'm excited for Insidious Chapter 3 or Part 3 or whatever. I think it's kind of supposed to be somewhat a prequel, but I don't know. So don't hold me to that. But that's what the trailers seem to be alluding to. It's like, go back to where it all began, something like that. I should probably get rid of the shovel. Did I collect everything? Yes. I'm just like blanking because I'm trying to talk and do this. But I figured, the thing about this series would be it's, I'm building a farm, so it's not necessarily something that takes a lot of cognitive power to talk and actually build a farm at the same time. So it's kind of what I was shooting for He says that he puts a bow away. There's a pun in there somewhere. Just go with me. So yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of the horror genre. Even more so now that, I've been living with Liz and absorbing more horror films. So yeah. And if you haven't seen, her and I do a horror movie review series on her channel. We've done a fair bit of them. If you watch them in order, you'll see the evolution of Dan. Because when we started at the time, it was like right when we got to the apartments, I was maybe like 30 pounds skinnier, and my facial hair fluctuates in between them. I think at one point during in one of them, I had the goofy facial hair from the Philips Norelco videos that we had done on the hub. So I had like a handlebar mustache in one of them, and like long sideburns. It looked disgusting, but yeah, that stuff is pretty good. Check that out. It's like Liz and Dan's reviews on our channel. So thank you for the question. Speaking of, this will be the last one I hit today. Somebody asked, and when I say somebody, I mean at Tahalo Guy, I think is how you would pronounce that, on Twitter, asked, watch the Babadook. That's not really a question. I said ask, but they just said watch the Babadook. So Babadook, or Babadook, however you want to say it, is a film. It's a horror film that is about, a mother and a young child, and kind of having a somewhat strained relationship because she's, single parent, and she's trying to just kind of hold herself together, and they start getting terrorized by this like storybook that seems to conjure this being that if ignored only gets worse sort of deal. Like or if you acknowledge, I can't remember exactly the rules of it all, but it was a very interesting horror film that I thought was pretty good. There were points where like Liz didn't want to look at the screen because just the shit that was happening was pretty spooky. And I sometimes have to kind of force myself to watch it. Like I don't really get too scared with horror movies where I can't look away or where I want to look away. But, there are times where it's like, something's going to happen. And so you're preparing for it, but you don't really want to, full on experience it. You just kind of want to stand back and close your eyes and be like, no, I don't want to look sort of deal. But I thought it was very inventive with some of the stuff it did. It had there was a shot in there that reminded me of very much Nosferatu, the original silent film, where the Babadook is like floating at one point, kind of like towards, and it was just really creepy. And it was very like at points, it was very silent movie, kind of scary villain sort of deal. I don't know why I just made more window panes. That's not what I wanted to do, but I zoned out. So, but yeah, Babadook was a pretty good movie. So thank you for that suggestion. But I would definitely pass that along and say, hey, check out the Babadook if you haven't seen it. It's a pretty good movie. The ending was a little, wasn't crazy about the ending, but it wasn't a bad movie. So, yep, I think that's going to be it for the farm. So we essentially moved and built somewhat of a house in this session. Again, it's more so about the, talking about stuff more so than building stuff. But eventually we will have a nice vast farm with some pens full of sheep and cows and chickens, and it's going to be a grand old time. So thank you guys for watching. If you have something you want to me to talk about, any topic, doesn't have to be movies, bring it up in the comments section and I will go through and look, and I would love for you guys to suggest stuff or ask me questions that I can kind of go off on for 20 minutes, half an hour at a time. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next episode of The Farm. Bye.